Hello to all you guys out there in YouTube land. This is me, DR, answering another selection of questions from my question section. And be aware that if you've got any more questions, feel free to pop them down in the comment section and I will answer them. All the questions that I asked before, I will get to, and I'll get to them slowly. Anyway, on with this one. Now, I was asked by a lovely YouTube loser I called Jasmine because that's her name, asked me 3 different questions, so hopefully I'll have enough time to answer all 3 on this video. The first one is, if I was the ruler of the entire world, what would I do? Interesting question. If I was the ruler of the entire world, first I'd operate wealth distribution, so I would distribute wealth to everyone equally. Then I would start doing things like this is very socialist. I mean, I agree with free markets, but I agree with free markets with a little bit more legislation. Then that's a really difficult question. So hopefully I'm gonna, without rambling, if I was the ruler of the entire world, what would I do? Now, opposed for actually giving myself a harem with tons of women, which has its mixed blessings, I do understand, But being the ruler of the entire world means that I could really dispatch that whole thing fairly easily. It depends how I got there as well. It depends how I became. If I won it with some sort of lottery, then my mindset would be slightly different. But that's a very interesting and difficult question for me, because it's one of those things that I tend not to ask myself questions that will never actually happen. The likelihood of me becoming the ruler of the entire world, even though I would find it, I don't know if I'd find it even desirable. Really interesting question. Would I find it desirable to be the ruler of the entire world? No, there's so many issues you'd have to deal with. I mean, first off, I'd look at it quite logically. I'd have to, if I was the ruler of the entire world, I'll make sure I get like experts in their field to help me on certain things. I would definitely deal out emissions laws to try and curtail our usage of fossil fuels and the stuff we have. I would make sure that I tried to redistribute wealth fairly, make taxation fair, try and make sure that the spending of wealth was monitored and secure, and that we weren't essentially wasting too much money, because there's always a waste of financial terms, money whenever you do any endeavour, especially in government. I would definitely try and curtail big business and not to try and make sure that they followed set rules and guidelines. When it comes to, I would not, like some people think, outlaw religion. I would just make sure there was an extreme separation of church and state when it came to political power. But what I would do, which is some people, I would make a state religion. The reason being is, in any state religion, it's so watered down that it tends to be ridiculous. And so everyone would very follow the state religion, and the state religion would be something akin to Buddhism, without the overluring of a god figure. But I would keep a religion around, because the problem with the whole idea of dispensing with religion and getting rid of it means that some other crackpot would take over the reins, and it's rather have religion in the reins of the crackpots of government with their mini agendas and their internal fighting than one crackpot who can make it very, extremely successful. I mean, anything to look at is look at something like Scientology to work out that one person can make something very successful. And if you really want to look at religion, look at the Church of England to see what happens when a church is combined with a state and how watered down it becomes. So that's something I would do. I would outlaw the teaching of unverified science in classrooms, because I don't think it has any place. If someone wants to pursue it outside, that's fine. But there you go. That's why hopefully that answers the question. And I'll try and answer your other questions if I've got time. What would my dream world be? Interesting. What would my dream world be? My dream world is pretty much summed up by I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King. where a world of freedom and equality, and when I mean freedom to a certain degree. Everyone having the freedom of speech, not freedom to go around killing people. I don't want to live in an anarchy. I don't want to live in an anarchist society. But I do want to live in a lawful society that works. That we have a justice system that works, a police system that works. And I know there's always going to be in any system which involves human beings who are fallible. There's always going to be opportunities and situations where it all goes to pot. But my dream world would it would be kind of similar to this world, but with a lot more freedom, a lot less hunger, a lot less poverty, a lot more education, a lot more more shared wealth, that type of thing. But it would kind of be similar to this world in the fact that we'd have the pursuit of knowledge and scientific discovery, and so it would be kind of similar, because I don't know if I can envision another world. I think that any other world, I wouldn't, for example, make everyone equal in wealth. I think that's really silly. Then there's to a certain degree the society we have builds, rewards determination, and someone who gives people kind of what they want. So in that respect, I'm a little like, I wouldn't wave a magic wand and change everything to a massive extent, but I would have a more educated society in a dream world. People would be more willing to, less closed-minded, more open to research, more secure in themselves. I would have as well more people knowing themselves, getting to know who they are. That would be my kind of dream visualization. I like the differences that we have. I like the differences. Less racial intolerance. Just less intolerance and more education. That would be kind of my dream world. Because I think with those, you'd solve a lot of problems. A hell of a lot of problems. And a lot of issues that have between people. And your last question. What would I wish to try in the future? Now, anyone who doesn't know me knows that I don't have any children, so that's something I'd wish. I don't like the word try. I'm going to change it and say, what would I like to do in the future? I would love to experience fatherhood. I think that when I'm ready, that I would say this to anyone who asks, I think I would make a very, very good father. I'm very afraid of that situation. I'm not like, but that's something I would want to have in my future. I would want to be a father. I would want to pass on my genes and teach someone about the world and enjoy those certain things. Enjoy the experience of fatherhood. I would really love to do that. So that's something I'd love to do in the future. So more trivial things. What would I love to do in the future? I would love to go climbing. I love climbing, so I'd love to go climbing in the future. I want to see more YouTube users in the future. That's definitely something I want to do. I want to see more people, see more YouTube users, actually meet them in the flesh. That would be absolutely brilliant, especially some of the ones I like, especially ones in America as well. I really want to do that. And I think that's about it for the mo. Because I don't know, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I live a pretty cool life. So there you go, Jasmine. That is the answers to your questions. I hope that kind of sums up everything that you wanted to hear. And this is DR saying peace out. Have a safe journey wherever you're headed. This is DR saying peace out and have a safe journey wherever you're heading. There'll be more answers coming soon.